Hello, welcome back to Beauty Bee. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a little tutorial based on the new Wild Nothing collection from Colourpop. This has an eyeshadow palette, which is what I was most interested in, some lip oils, and cream shadows, I think, but very MAC Paint Pot style cream shadows. Not super pretty, sort of satin or matte finish, different shades of nude. I think this is a really pretty collection. Obviously, it's quite neutral, and I suspect that the reception in the beauty community is going to be, this is boring, why isn't it more colorful, we have this 100 times over, whatever. And I've never understood that. Like, yes, you might have a neutral palette 100 times over, but Colourpop's not making you buy it. So, okay, there are plenty of people who don't have a neutral palette 100 times over. And I think this would actually be a really good palette for, like, say, a teenager who was just getting into makeup, or even someone who was a little older and wanted to dip their toes in a little bit, try some neutrals. It would be hard to do anything too awful with this. I mean, at 18, without having ever worn anything but really sheer eyeshadow, I got my hands on a blue and green quad. So I wish I'd tried neutrals instead. There were some regrettable looks made. Okay, so I've got my eyes primed. I think the most interesting element of this palette is that pairing of this metallic pewter shade, that dark silver on the far right of the palette, with the coppery gold next to it. So that's what I'm going to go with on my eyes. I'm actually going to start by laying down the copper. I think my plan, we'll see how this goes, is to put this golden copper shade sort of on my outer corner and then fill most of my lid in with a metallic gray. I'll probably brighten up the inner corner just a little bit with a shimmering white, and we'll just kind of see where the look takes us as far as the lower lash line goes. I also have a dark brown out in case I want to add any additional depth or I feel like I need liner with this. So let's start with this metallic copper. I'm just going to take that on my finger and find my mirror, so I'm not trying to do this in the viewfinder. I'm just going to put that on my outer corner and then up a little bit. I want this to sort of go up and over the silver. You see that? Yeah, that's the look I'm going for, and I'm going to replicate that on the other side before we go into the silver. I didn't worry too much about getting this blended because I'm going to blend everything in with mauve shadow. And that looks very orange on me, but I don't think that shade is actually super orange. I'm just quite cool toned, and I find that oranges in particular, any shade that has any amount of orange in it, looks so much more orange on me than it does in general, I feel. So I'm going to wipe that finger off. And now I'm going to go into this pewter shade. Just take that on another finger, and we're going to put that pretty much all the way across the lid, overlap just a little bit with the orange, and leaving only the inner corner bare. I like that actually kind of more than I thought I would. I thought that was going to be really jarring. And I do definitely have some work to do to blend those colors into one another. I'm going to double dip and fill in some more. It's actually really pretty. I feel like the orange brings out the purple tones in that pewter shade. Yeah, I like where this is going. I'm going to repeat the same on the other side. At this point, I just want to check that I'm even on both sides. And I think I have a little too much orange showing on this one, so I'm going to go to yet more of that gray shade. I like that a lot. I'm actually kind of surprised by how much I like that. I could see myself doing this often. I'm going to extend that orange out just a little bit to match the other side. Where did I put it? There it is. You thought you could escape. See how it goes out on this side? I'm just going to make sure that it matches on this side. All right, now on to this mauve color. I'm just going to get that on a fluffy crease brush, and I'm going to blend out all of the edges. I'm going to lay down the product first, and then I'm going to clean off my brush just on a washcloth that I have right next to me, and further blend just without laying any additional product down. All right, now my brush is clean, and I'm just going to keep blending. So what am I thinking about the lower lash line? I think I might take a little bit of the copper and go just a little bit in, and then switch to the pewter. That seems like a plan. Make sure my smudger brush is clean. Dip into a little bit of the orange. And I'm only going to go maybe a quarter of the way. So just a little bit. And now I'm going to clean my brush and go into the pewter. And we'll get almost to the inner corner with this, overlapping it quite a bit with the orange to get this sort of almost rosy effect that you see on the eye. On the eyelid. I can talk sometimes. Okay, I want to brighten up my inner corner a little bit, so I'm going to go in with this shimmery white just on my pinky finger and hit both of my inner corners. I think yeah, definitely want that brow bone highlight. Just gonna take a shader brush, same shade, and just go under the brow. Now for some mascara. I think I'm gonna hit the lower lashes just a little bit. Very good. The other side. So there's the eyes pretty well done. I'll fill in my brows with the brow pencil, and then we can figure out the cheeks. Why do I have it twisted up that high? That seems like a recipe for disaster. Slowly through them real quick. And I think that because I used that mauve color to blend everything out, I would like to use that same mauve as a blush on my cheeks. So I'm just going to go in with this angled blush brush, get a good amount of that, being very careful not to dip into the gray. I'm less worried about dipping into the highlight shade next to it. Just going to put that on my cheeks and a little bit across my nose. Don't really need my mirror for this, I suppose, do I? Okay, thought I saw some gray on there. Okay, now, do I want highlight? Silly question, always. It's just how it is. I'm gonna go in with this same shade that I put on the brow bone, and I'm going to also get into a little bit of the pink just because it's there and I don't want to need to avoid it. And go on the cheekbones. And a little on the nose, because why not? Okay, love that. Now for lips, I feel like in the spirit of this being like the basic neutral palette, I need to go in with my basic everyday lipstick, which is almost gone. I'm so excited. Also sad, but I'm kind of excited for just finishing a lipstick. I feel like that shows commitment. And I'll also put a little bit of gloss on it because this is about the Wild Nothing collection, isn't it? Which, what does Wild Nothing even mean? That seems like a meaningless name to me, but they didn't ask me. Like, I thought it was silly when Colourpop used to put out, and probably still does, put out collections that are just like a phrase. Like, truly, madly, deeply. Okay. Fine. But just throwing together words with pretty packaging, that's a new level for Colourpop. Though the packaging is very pretty on this collection. I will give them that. Also, let's wipe off my fingers before I make a mess. Alright, so there's my look. I hope you enjoyed. I would love to hear your thoughts on this new Colourpop collection. Are you planning to pick it up? Do you think it's basic? I'm kind of on the no, not gonna pick it up. Yeah, it is kind of basic, but I still like it crew. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing if you did. See ya!